Danielle walked out of the cafe, her heart pounding. She had come here to seek answers, but all she felt now was confusion. Gabriel's regret had seemed genuine, but could she really believe him? She knew her brothers wouldn't approve of this meeting, but she had to know the truth for herself. As she stepped into her car, her phone rang. It was David. She hesitated before answering. "Where are you?" His voice was sharp. Danielle sighed. "I went to see him." Silence. Then David's voice, cold and controlled. "Him? You mean Gabriel?" "Yes," David cursed under his breath. "Are you serious, Danielle? After everything he did to Mom? After everything he did to us?" Danielle clenched her jaw. "I just wanted to hear his side of the story," David scoffed. "And did you find what you were looking for? Did his sob story make you feel better?" "David, listen." "No, you listen," he snapped. "That man left Mom to suffer. He left us to grow up without a father. Now that his life is falling apart, he suddenly wants to show up and pretend to care? And you're falling for it?" Danielle gritted her teeth. "I'm not falling for anything. I just wanted to understand." David exhaled sharply. "Understand what? That he's a selfish coward?" Danielle's grip tightened on the steering wheel. "I don't expect you to understand, David, but this was something I needed to do." "Well, I hope you got the closure you wanted, because I want nothing to do with that man." Before Danielle could reply, the line went dead. She sighed, rubbing her temple. She had expected this reaction, but it still hurt. That evening, Danielle sat on the couch, lost in thought. She hadn't told their mother yet. She wasn't sure how Lucy would react. She was still debating whether to say anything when she heard Lucy's voice behind her. "You met him, didn't you?" Danielle jumped, turning to see her mother standing there, arms crossed, watching her carefully. She swallowed. "Mom, Lucy held up a hand. "Don't lie to me." Danielle sighed, looking down. "Yes, I did." Lucy exhaled slowly. "Why?" I needed to hear his side," Danielle admitted. Lucy walked over and sat beside her. "And? Did he say anything worth hearing?" Danielle hesitated, then shook her head. "He regrets it, but I don't know if it changes anything." Lucy nodded. "It doesn't." Danielle bit her lip. "Mom, do you still hate him?" Lucy's eyes darkened. "Hate is a strong word, Danielle. I don't hate him. I just don't trust him, and I don't want him anywhere near you or your brothers." Danielle nodded slowly. "I understand." Lucy reached out and took her daughter's hand. "I know you have questions, baby, and I know part of you is curious about him. But just remember, he is the one who walked away, not us." Danielle squeezed her mother's hand. "I know, Mom. I won't let him hurt us again." Lucy gave her a small smile. "Good." But deep down, she had a feeling this wasn't over. Gabriel sat in his car, gripping the steering wheel. Danielle had listened to him, but that wasn't enough. He needed to see his sons. He needed to see Lucy again. So he made a decision. The next morning, he drove to Lucy's house and knocked on the door. When it swung open, he came face to face with David. Gabriel barely had time to speak before a fist collided with his face. Pain exploded in his jaw as he stumbled back. David stood there, fists clenched, eyes blazing with fury. "How dare you show up here?" David hissed. Gabriel wiped the blood from his lip, looking up at his son. "I just wanted to talk." "You lost that right a long time ago," David growled. "Get out before I make you regret ever coming here." Gabriel looked past him, hoping to see Lucy. "I just want a chance to explain." "You had a chance," David cut him off. 21 years ago, and you threw it away." Gabriel's shoulders sagged. "David, please, leave," David said coldly. Gabriel hesitated, but one look at his son's deadly glare told him he wasn't getting past that door. With a heavy heart, he turned and walked away. But he wasn't giving up. Not yet. Lucy arrived home later that evening, exhausted from work. She had barely stepped inside when she noticed the tension in the air. David was pacing furiously, his knuckles red and slightly bruised. Danielle sat stiffly on the couch, arms folded, looking lost in thought. Lucy narrowed her eyes. "What happened?" David let out a bitter laugh. "Guess who decided to show up at our house today?" Lucy's stomach dropped. "Gabriel," David scoffed. "Of course, you already know. Or did Danielle tell you?" Lucy's gaze flickered to her daughter, who looked down, avoiding eye contact. David clenched his fists. "He had the nerve to stand on our doorstep like he belongs here. I should have done more than punch him." "You hit him?" Lucy interrupted, surprised. David's eyes were cold. "I didn't do anything he didn't deserve." Lucy exhaled and sank onto the couch. "This man just won't stop." Danielle finally spoke, her voice quiet. "Mom, what if he really wants to make amends?" David whipped around to face her. "Are you seriously defending him?" "I'm not defending him," Danielle snapped. "I'm just saying, what if he really regrets everything? Shouldn't we at least hear him out?" David's face twisted in anger. "I don't care if he regrets it. He left Mom to suffer. He left us." Lucy sighed, rubbing her temples. "Both of you stop it." They fell silent. She took a deep breath. "David, I understand your anger. And Danielle, I understand your curiosity. But Gabriel is not part of this family. He lost that right a long time ago." David nodded firmly, but Danielle still looked unsure. Lucy turned to her daughter. "If he really wanted to make amends, he would have come looking for us years ago. Not now when he has nothing left." Danielle swallowed hard and nodded reluctantly. Lucy stood up. "No one is allowed to see him again. If he comes back, we call security." David smirked. "Or I can just hit him again." Lucy shot him a look. "No violence. We handle this the right way." David huffed but didn't argue. Lucy walked to her room, closing the door behind her. She leaned against it, heart pounding. She had spoken with so much confidence in front of her kids, but deep down, she wasn't as sure as she pretended to be. Gabriel sat in his car, staring at the bruises on his face in the rearview mirror. David was just like him, hot-headed, stubborn, unwilling to listen. But Danielle, she was different. She had been willing to talk. And Lucy, oh Lucy, she hadn't come to the door. Had she refused to see him? Or had she simply not been home? Either way, he wasn't giving up. He had lost everything: his marriage, his ability to have kids, his reputation. Lucy and their children were the only family he had left, and he was determined to make things right. That night, Lucy tossed and turned in bed. In her dreams, she was 18 again, standing in front of Gabriel, begging him to accept the pregnancy. She saw the coldness in his eyes. He called her a prostitute, told her to go and find the real father. She felt the pain all over again, the humiliation, the heartbreak. Then suddenly, she was in the present. Gabriel was standing before her, older now, but still looking at her with pleading eyes. "Lucy," he whispered, "please forgive me." She wanted to scream at him, hit him, tell him to go to hell. But then her children appeared behind him. Danielle, David, Daniel. They looked at her with questioning eyes. "Mom," Danielle whispered, "what if he's really sorry?" Lucy jolted awake, gasping for breath. She sat up, wiping sweat from her forehead. Her heart pounded. Was she making a mistake by shutting Gabriel out completely? Or was this just another trick? The next day, Lucy stepped into a high-end restaurant for a business meeting. She was supposed to meet a potential investor for her company. She was dressed in a sleek black gown, exuding confidence. She had no idea that the man she was about to meet was Gabriel. Lucy walked into the elegant restaurant, her heels clicking against the polished marble floor. The soft hum of classical music played in the background, and the scent of expensive wine filled the air. She adjusted the strap of her handbag and glanced around, searching for her business associate. Her assistant had set up this meeting with a potential investor who was interested in partnering with her company. This was supposed to be just another professional deal, nothing personal. But the moment her eyes landed on the man sitting at the reserved table, her breath caught in her throat. Gabriel. He was dressed in a tailored navy blue suit, his face still bruised from David's punch. His eyes met hers, and a flicker of something, hope, regret, desperation, crossed his face. Lucy's entire body went rigid. Her first instinct was to turn around and leave, but before she could, the waiter approached. "Madam, would you like to be seated?" She clenched her fists, forcing a polite smile. She wouldn't give Gabriel the satisfaction of seeing her rattled. She took her seat opposite him, keeping her expression unreadable. "This had better not be a trick," Gabriel sighed, leaning forward. "Lucy, please, just hear me out." She crossed her arms. "I didn't come here to hear you out. I came here for a business meeting." Gabriel nodded. "I know, and I am your business meeting." Lucy's eyes narrowed. "Excuse me?" He exhaled. "I told your assistant I was interested in investing in your company. I knew it was the only way I could get you to meet me." Lucy let out a bitter laugh. "So you lied to manipulate me into sitting down with you?" Gabriel shook his head. "I didn't lie. I am interested in investing, but more than that, I need a chance to fix things." Lucy slammed her napkin onto the table. "There is nothing to fix, Gabriel. The damage was done years ago." Gabriel's voice softened. Lucy, please, I know I hurt you. I know I abandoned you when you needed me the most. I've spent every day of the past few years regretting it. Lucy clenched her jaw. Regret doesn't erase the past. I know. His voice broke slightly. But I want to be part of our children's lives. I want to be part of your life. Lucy held up a hand. Don't even think about finishing that sentence. Gabriel swallowed hard. Lucy, I'm not here to ask for pity. I know I don't deserve it. But I can't ignore the fact that I have 3 children out there. Our children. I missed their entire childhood. Please don't let me miss the rest of their lives too. Lucy stared at him, her emotions swirling inside her like a storm. She hated him. She hated the fact that he could sit here and act like he had any right to claim their children after walking away from them before they were even born. But she also knew her children had minds of their own. And Danielle, she had already begun searching for answers. Lucy took a deep breath. This isn't my decision alone to make. Our children are adults now. If they want to hear you out, that's their choice, but I will not force them to accept you. Gabriel's eyes flickered with gratitude. That's all I'm asking for, Lucy scoffed. No, it's not. You're asking for forgiveness. You're asking to undo the past. But some things can't be undone, Gabriel. He looked down, guilt shadowing his face. Lucy stood up, grabbing her handbag. Invest in my company if you want. I don't care, but this meeting is over. Gabriel looked up at her. Lucy, wait. She didn't wait. She walked away without looking back. That night, Lucy sat in her bedroom, staring at an old photo of herself with her newborn triplets. She had fought so hard to raise them alone. She had suffered, struggled, and survived. And now, the man who left her to do it alone wanted to return. She didn't trust Gabriel. But deep down, she feared something even more. What if her children did? Lucy sat in her dimly lit bedroom, staring at the ceiling. The night was silent, but her mind was anything but. Gabriel's words echoed in her head. I want to be part of our children's lives. Her grip tightened around the bedsheet. For 21 years, he had been nothing but a ghost. Now he wanted to appear as if he had always cared? It was ridiculous. But Danielle, Lucy had seen the hesitation in her daughter's eyes when David was so quick to shut Gabriel out. Danielle wanted to know her father, and that terrified Lucy more than anything. She had spent years shielding them from the pain of their father's abandonment. If Gabriel came back into their lives now, would he only break their hearts again? A knock at the door pulled her from her thoughts. Mom, can I come in? Danielle. Lucy inhaled deeply before responding. Yes, come in. The door opened and Danielle stepped inside, her expression uncertain. She hesitated before sitting on the edge of the bed. I know you don't want to talk about this, but can we? Lucy folded her arms. About Gabriel. Danielle nodded. Lucy sighed. What do you want to know? Danielle shifted uncomfortably. I don't know. Everything, I guess. Why did he leave? Did he ever love you? Does he even regret it? Lucy's heart clenched. She had spent years burying these memories, but now she was being forced to dig them up again. He left because he didn't want responsibility, Lucy said flatly. He denied my pregnancy, called me names, and abandoned me when I needed him the most. Danielle winced. I know, David told me, but don't you think people can change? Lucy turned to face her daughter fully. Danielle, I know you're curious. I understand. But let me ask you something. Why does he suddenly want to be in your lives now? Danielle hesitated. Lucy leaned forward. Because he has nothing left. His wife couldn't give him children. He's infertile now. And suddenly he remembers he has kids somewhere in the world? It's not love, Danielle. It's desperation. Danielle bit her lip. What if it's both? Lucy exhaled sharply, her frustration rising. He had 21 years to reach out. He didn't. And now that he's lonely, he wants to come crawling back? Do you think that's fair to us? Danielle lowered her gaze. No, but it doesn't mean he doesn't deserve a chance. Lucy felt her patience snapping. Do I deserve a chance, Danielle? After all I went through alone? After all the times I cried myself to sleep wondering how I'd feed you 3? Did I deserve a chance when I was sleeping on the streets, pregnant with nowhere to go? Danielle's eyes welled up with tears. Mom? Because I didn't get one. Lucy's voice broke. No one came to save me. I had to fight alone, and now you're telling me that he deserves a chance? Where was my chance? Danielle's lips trembled. I'm not trying to hurt you, Mom. I just want to understand. Lucy ran a shaky hand through her hair. She softened her voice. I know, baby, and I love you for your kind heart, but you need to understand something. This isn't a fairy tale. People like Gabriel don't just show up and make everything better. He walked away once. What's stopping him from doing it again? Danielle wiped her tears. I don't know, maybe nothing, but I still want to talk to him. Lucy stared at her daughter, her heart sinking. Please, Mom, let me meet him, just once. Lucy closed her eyes. She felt like she was losing control. If she said no, Danielle would resent her forever. If she said yes, she was opening the door to a man she had fought so hard to erase from their lives. But Danielle was an adult now. She had to make her own choices, even if those choices led to pain. Lucy exhaled. Fine. Danielle's eyes lit up with surprise. Really? Lucy nodded stiffly. But I want to be there. I want to hear everything he has to say. Danielle swallowed and nodded. Okay. Lucy turned away. Go to bed, Danielle. We'll arrange it tomorrow. Danielle hesitated before hugging her mother tightly. Thank you, Mom. Lucy didn't hug back. Her heart was too heavy. As Danielle left the room, Lucy stared at the ceiling once more. This was a mistake. She could feel it. The next day, Lucy made the call. Gabriel picked up on the first ring. Lucy, he breathed, as if he had been waiting for this moment. Lucy's voice was ice. Danielle wants to see you. Just Danielle. David and Daniel don't care to meet you, and I don't want to be in the same room as you longer than necessary. Gabriel swallowed. I understand. Thank you, Lucy. You won't regret this. Lucy clenched her fist. I already do. They arranged to meet at a quiet cafe the following afternoon. Danielle was nervous but excited. David was furious. You're really letting her do this? You think this is a good idea? No, Lucy said honestly, but it's her choice. David gritted his teeth. If he hurts her, I'll kill him. Lucy sighed. I won't let it get to that. David shook his head, storming off. Lucy watched him go, her heart breaking. Gabriel's presence was already tearing them apart. The next day, Danielle sat across from Gabriel in the cafe. Lucy sat nearby, arms crossed, watching every move he made. Gabriel smiled, though his eyes were wet with emotion. You look just like your mother. Danielle shifted awkwardly. I don't know what to say. Gabriel swallowed. Say whatever's in your heart. Danielle hesitated before asking, Why did you leave us? Gabriel's face fell. He looked at Lucy as if silently asking permission to speak. Lucy remained silent. Gabriel sighed. I was a coward. I was young, stupid, and afraid of responsibility. I didn't understand what love and family really meant. Danielle frowned. And now you do? Gabriel nodded. Losing everything made me realize what I had taken for granted. I regret it every single day. Danielle bit her lip. If you could go back, would you do things differently? Gabriel's voice was raw, in a heartbeat. Danielle blinked back tears. Lucy, however, remained unmoved. Words were easy, but would he prove them?